Hello, and welcome to the Simple Tutor, your place for free Photoshop tutorials and tips. Now within the next few weeks, you will be learning the basics of Photoshop through various lessons. This Photoshop Basics course will consist of 8 specified lessons. Each lesson will cover essential Photoshop skills so that you can become more familiar with the program. You will need a computer, Photoshop CS4 or higher, a basic internet connection, and patience. Today's lesson will focus on navigating the workspace. We will first break down the menu bar, overview the status bar, get familiar with the toolbox, and finally study the palettes area. Alright, so let's get started. I'm currently using Photoshop CS6. Majority of this information should correlate with older versions. The image I'm using is called Sunflowers and can be found in the link in the description. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the window here, then click on Workspace, and then click on New and CS6. Now from there, once you click that, it'll optimize the layout so you can be on the same page I am. So then you're going to head here on the left, and we're going to dive into the toolbox area here. This area can be broken down into 4 different sections. So we have the selection and move tools here. Then over here, we have the retouch and brush tools. And below that, we have the shape and text tools. And underneath that, we have the hand and zoom tool. But below that is the foreground and background colors. So from there, we're going to move to the menu area. Now, there's a bunch of buttons up here, but I'll go over them very quickly. We have the File tab here. You can save, open, create new files. We have the Edit tab here. You can copy, paste, and free transform various parts of the image. Let's see here, we have our Image tab. You can switch your image mode, add in adjustments, change your image size, and more. We have our Layer tab here. You can add, delete, and duplicate layers. You can also do this in the palette area on the right. We have our Type panel here. You can adjust how your panels view different fonts and how they look. We have our Select tab here. You can select and deselect images. And filters. Now filters, this tab right here is amazing. There's a slew of filters and combinations are endless. We will get to this. Trust me, one day. We have our 3D tab here. You can add 3D elements. View, you can change the way you view your work. You can zoom in and out, add rulers. The window area here. You can arrange the way your workspace and other properties affect how you work. And now let's move on to the palettes area here. We have, we're mainly going to focus on layers and the brush tool right here. Now the layers tool here, think of it as your hands, mainly your hands. These are the hands and feet of the program. Layers are simply, they do all the work, I think. So we have our image here, which is on the background layer. If you click this eye, it'll not delete the layer, but it'll remove the visibility. And if you click it off, when the eye is gone, that means the image is hidden. When you click it back on, that means the image reappears. I've created a layer that has some painting on it. I used the brush tool earlier, and as you can see, I'm toggling it on and off, and it's giving the flowers a certain highlight. From there, we can move on to layer modes. These I'll have to go into more depth later on, but the gist of layer modes is they apply different overlays and different effects towards the layers underneath it. So I hit overlay, and you get this sort of bright glow in the image. But we'll get into that later. That's about it for the first lesson. Hope to see you back next week for lesson 2 in my Simple Tutor Photoshop Basics course. And don't forget to hit the like button below, as well as subscribe for more Photoshop tutorials, tips, and tricks. See ya.